So guys, as you can see, this is our for loop. Now count how many times it goes down, and then it will stop for 3 seconds. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now see, it's 5 times, then it stopped for 3 seconds. Now take a look at the code over here. So we are having a condition here that it should start from 10, initial value of the learn is 10, then whenever it is greater than 5, it will terminate. Now it will go down like, and we have learn minus minus. If it is minus minus, it means that it will decrement. So this means that it will go after reaching this point over here, it will repeat, and once it reaches greater than 5, it will terminate. So simple as that. That's our for loop in MikroC. Hello guys, welcome to learning microcontrollers. In this video, I will show you how you can use a for loop in MikroC for PIC, and for the demonstration purpose, I will be using a PIC16F877A, and we will be using an LED. So we will count how many times the LED blink, and that number of times the LED blink will be determined by the for loop. So we will use a for loop to decide how many times our LED should blink. So that's simple as that for demonstration. So let's first set up our hardware. This is our PIC16F877A having 40 pins. It's a DIP version, and this is an LED. An LED always has 2 pins, one longer, one shorter. And to connect this LED with the PIC, we will need a safety resistor. It can be from 100 ohm to 500 ohm or even higher. Higher the value, the lower will be the brightness of the LED. So 220 ohm is an ideal resistor. So let's connect it. As you know, an LED has 2 pins. One is longer, one is shorter. Longer is always the power. You give power through the longer pin, and shorter is always the ground. So you have to maintain this pin configuration. Now guys, for the longer pin, that is a power pin, connected to the one end of the 220 ohm resistor like this. From the other end, you can connect it to any available digital input output pin. I'm going to use the pin number D2 like this. Now for the ground pin of the LED, connected to the ground pin of the PIC like this. In this way, our hardware connection has been completed. So let's move on to the hardware. Let me show you the hardware, then we move on to the programming. So guys, this over here is our hardware. This is our PIC16F877A behind the wire here, and this is the LED we are going to use here. Simple as that. Rest of the LEDs will not be used. Only this LED will be used. So let's get to the MikroC for PIC. So it's very small. Let me zoom in. I will use the Windows magnifier to zoom in. So here we go. Go to the start page. So this is our MikroC for PIC version 7.2.0. You can use a higher version as well. Higher is always better. Click on File, New Project. Write the name of the this window pops up, New Project Wizard. Click on Next. Write the name of the project. I write for loop tutorial. That's all. And then guys, here select the microcontroller, the path, and the crystal you have at pin number 13 and 14. I have 20 megahertz crystal over there. So that's the value I will write here. Click on Next and finish. So guys, before you do anything else, first of all, you need to save your work. Press Ctrl S to save your work like this. Now guys, first of all, we declare our pin, that is a D.F2, trace D.F2 equals to 0. 0 means it's an output and 1 means it's an input, and trace is a direction register. Now initially the LED must be off, or D.F2 equals to 0. This pin will send a 0 to the LED. That 0 means it's low and 1 means it's high. 0 means the LED is off by default. Now we give some initialization delay. It's not necessary, but I always suggest you give it in the one-time loop. 20 milliseconds will do fine. Now the forever loop starts here like this and ends here. Now guys, we use our for loop. For the for loop, we will need a variable. So you can take any variable. I take int learn. This is the variable I'm going to use. So I copy this variable. We will read it. Now write the syntax of the for loop. For learn, that is the initial value equals to 0, whatever the initial value is, then whatever the condition is, when the repetition should stop as soon as it reaches 5. So less than 5 means it's 5. Why? Because it will start counting from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So totally 5 repetitions. Now I increment, like after every complete repetition, it will increment after every repetition it will increment by 1. Learn plus plus means this. You can also use minus, but for that your learn this should be opposite, like it should start from like 5 and it should be greater than, it will be opposite in that case. So, we will be using this condition learn plus plus like this. Now, this is the syntax. Now, starting here for loop and here, whatever is inside these two brackets will be repeated for how long? Starting from this point and ending at this point, it will follow this condition, simple as that. And then either it should increment or decrement is decided by this variable over here. Now, what we do is that we will blink an LED. This is the LED at port D.F2. So, it becomes 1, and then to toggle we will also need to make it 0 like this, and then inside it we give some delay. So, copy this one from there, and the delay can be any delay. So, I give it like 400 will do fine. So, also for a 400 millisecond it will remain on, and then 400 millisecond it will remain off, then it will repeat for 5 times. That is what this gonna do. Then after this, to make a difference that it has completed its repetition, we give a delay of 3000, that is 3 seconds. So, after repeating for 5 times following our for loop, it will then stop the code for 3 seconds, it should remain off, and then after that it will start all over again. We build this code and run it. Let us see our for loop works or not. So, it is built, go to the PIC16 programmer tool, go to file, import hex file, for loop tutorial, click on write. Okay, this is being written. Let us get to the hardware and see what happens. So, this is the hardware over here, let it write. Okay, it is written. Let me turn on the code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, see 3 second delay again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, simple as that. It is working like a charm. Now, we play with the code. Now, what I do is that I make it 10, and whenever it is greater than, I make it 1, or let it remain 5, and now we will decrement. Now, it will start from up and it will go down until it is greater than 5. Now, let us build this code and see how many times it repeats. I click on write. Okay, the new code is being written. Now, we are going to decrement the counter. Okay, let it write. It's written 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, it's 6 times. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, sorry, 5. It's 5 times. Again, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, it's the same. Now, we have just used the decrement condition. Similarly, you can play with the code. You can make various conditions with this. For loop is very useful in various projects, especially when you are reading a byte, a data in the form of serial data using a digital pin. Then you will need it in various, there are like DHT11 sensor. For many other sensors as well, you will need the for loop, especially for a single wire serial interface. So, guys, this is it. If you have any questions, you can ask in the comment. Thank you very much for your time and patience, and have a nice day. We'll see you in the next video.